back on the scene like a record machine. Saying Oopapa Doo, season 2. How you doing?
Oopapa Doo, huh?
Yeah.
Bop, bop, doo, bop.
That's some George Clinton for you.
Okay, Oopapa Doo is George Clinton.
How y'all doing?
Who was I doing? I was doing John Travolta.
I don't know what you was doing. No, you was doing Little Richard.
Who was that?
You was doing Little Richard.
Okay.
Yeah. John Travolta was doing Little Richard.
On
Welcome
Grease.
Back, Carter.
Oh, I thought it was Grease.
No, when he's Vinny Barbarino.
Okay.
See, out of school sometimes when that age kicks in, they be forgetting.
You know what I'm saying? And today is my birthday.
And say
Talk
happy
about
birthday.
age.
Happy birthday to you.
Thank you, Kato.
Yes, indeed.
It's my birthday.
So we starting season 2 on Rorree's birthday.
Yes,
Isn't that
this is my gift to myself.
Let's get a clap for that. Hey.
It's my birthday.
Alright.
Alright.
Venus and Mars.
Alright, so are we gonna, okay, so the way Venus and Mars goes, we have these cards by John Gray, who did Women Are from Mars and Men Are from Venus.
Yeah.
So we have, or Men Are from Mars, Women Are from Venus. That's what it's
same thing. You know what I'm saying? Different ways, same thing.
All right, so we found it a lot of fun to pull the cards and just kind of see how we feel about the subject, and then we want to see how you guys feel about the subject matter. So today, what are we starting with, Mars or Venus?
Well, first let's explain what the cards. The way the cards are is one side has Venus on it, the other side has Mars on it, and what is it? You read who read it? Normally you read the Mars sign. Or do I read the Mars side and you read the Venus side? We take turns on which side.
Whatever comes up, we just...
And we give our perspective on what it's saying. So...
And then we want your perspective.
Yeah, exactly. So...
You want that?
I grabbed that one, so let's see what it's saying.
I gotta be first!
And this is for Venus, right? And it says Venus. It's telling her, give him space to recover from the stress of his day. Give him space to recover from the stress of his day. What does that mean to you?
Well, I can agree with the fact that we do need to give our men space to recover from their day. I know women, we tend to have our day, and even throughout the day, we're unloading what has happened throughout the day. We might call our friends, girl, guess what she did today, and tell them all about it. But our men are typically not going to do that. So throughout their day, they really haven't released their stressors, and then when they come home, they have to decompress their way. Now, our way of decompressing is usually to talk about it, you know, and then we want to talk to you about it. What happened? You know, because we can tell you're feeling a little something, but it really is, to me, it's important to just give men their space to decompress their own way. And not force them to decompress our way, and just to let them be. And it might not just be at the end of the day. It could be at any point. It could be at the end of a busy period of time in their lives where they just need to, you know, be in a cave for a minute so that they can get themselves together before they're able to deal with anybody else. So I agree that, especially at the end of the day, let them come home, relax, you know, just chill out and decompress before you bombard them with all of your stuff. And you may even ask them before you start unloading your day, you might ask them, you know, is it okay that I share right now, or you want me to wait for a little bit? And just see what they say and not get offended because they said, babe, I don't really feel like hearing about that right now. You know, don't get offended. Right. What do you think about that one?
Well, I guess, you know, I agree with you at some point.
Okay.
You know, and I'm speaking of me. I can't speak for all men, even though I'm sure most men will probably agree. I guess it depends on what you mean by space.
Okay.
Because let's say if I come home and I had a stressful day at work, right? Now, the biggest thing that would make my day in coming home is seeing my woman. You know what I'm saying? That would make my day. Now, coming home and seeing my woman, and she nagging at me, that's a whole nother story. That's almost like, I can remember the days, and there were days, you know, me coming home and pulling up to the house and sitting for a minute like, oh, good grief.
You don't feel like going inside?
Yeah, I don't even feel like going in because I know I'm going to hear it when I go in. Not that I'm not saying not that I'm not going to hear your stuff or how your day was. That would be awesome. You know what I'm saying? In a sense, you know, whether we talk about whatever, it's just good to see you, it's good to see you. But to come in and say, you told me last week that you was going to fix this garbage disposal, and if it ain't fixed now, then the food is whatever. That's what I mean. I think that's what I see it means by space.
Oh, okay.
Giving him space to release their stress from the day. I've already been working. I don't want to come home and work. And you know, guys, we might take our shirt off and miss the hamper and throw it on the floor next to the hamper. That's what we do. You know what I'm saying? But not being nagged. And I know women hate when men say you nagging them, but that's what it is. Mm-hmm. And so that's what I think it means by space. Give us space from that. But if we coming home and you hugging, oh baby, oh my gosh, I'm glad to see you. I thought about you all day and such and such. Are you hungry? Boom, boom, boom. That's fine. Mm-hmm. You know, so that's kind of how I see it. Yeah.
Okay. And we talked about nagging, I feel, like in our first season, we talked about nagging. Yeah. So, I'm not sure at what point the man wants to hear a bunch of nagging. I mean, that's something that women, we have to work on, how we deliver the information, because nagging is nagging no matter when you're giving it.
You're right.
You know, so... But
coming from work, a stress day at work is definitely probably the wrong time.
Right.
You know.
You're absolutely right.
Now, if he's been sleeping all day on a Saturday, you know what I'm saying? He's not coming from a stressful day.
Right.
You know,
so now you're going to let him wake up and nag him to death.
Hey, you know. I may not like it, but that's more understandable. And I'll get up and do it. And I have no defense. I can't say, damn, Rorree, I just got home from a stressful day. Let me kick back. I don't drink beer personally, but let me just kick back for a minute. Mm-hmm. Golly, before you put me back to work. Mm-hmm. As opposed to, damn, I wanted to sleep longer, but you're right, I said I'd get up, so I stop nagging, I'm going to do it.
Right. Yeah. Well, you know, I agree with you regarding how you greet your mate when you all see each other for the first time in the afternoon or whenever y'all collide, or, you know, when you cross paths. But I feel like I need space too, because I deal with a lot. And even the other day I had to tell my daughter, because when I picked her up from school, sometimes after dealing with a long day, I deal with children who have special needs, I deal with parents who need help, I deal with a lot. And then at the end of the day, it's like, I don't want to come home and have to deal with some more. You know, it's like, can I get a break for a second?
Right.
So I picked her up, and I just finished dealing with someone else's crisis, and I'm like, and so I pick her up, and sometimes you want to be greeted with happiness and joy, and and you're greeted with, this happened, let's go, and it's like, oh my God, you know, and so, like, after she, unloaded, I was like, okay, so can we just be quiet for 5 minutes? Okay. Cause I just dealt with a long day, and I just need a moment of silence to not deal with anything. How about that? And that's kind of how I see this, like allowing your man or your mate to come home and just be still for a second. Because when they left work, they left dealing with people, if they deal with people, or they left whatever they left. And everybody needs a moment to release their day and to de-stress. Even that drive home.
That drive home
if you in the DMV, that drive home is
oh my goodness.
Okay?
Oh my goodness, yes.
You know, when you get home, you need to just decompress for a second and breathe and release, maybe even meditate or whatever before people start talking to you, like talking a hole in your head, you know? So that's how I see it. Now, the nagging, you know, I'm not into the nagging at any point in time. I don't like when females nag to me, and I don't want to be a nag. Right. So I'm not into the nagging at any time.
But I thought nagging was just part of a woman's trait. I mean, in all honesty, I know that may. I'm not trying to sound misogynistic or anything, but I thought the nagging things comes with their DNA. In all honesty, whether they know they doing it or not, some of them may nag in an angry way, and some may nag in a whining way.
So nagging is complaining about something.
Yeah.
Well, men don't complain about stuff.
Not really. Men may complain when push come to shove. When push come to shove,
y'all complain,
and they on
how
the
come
defense.
It's not nagging?
Men only complain when they're being defensive. You know what I'm saying? Have you ever seen? Always relate this to movies, right? There's a movie. If you haven't seen it, you have to see it. Even maybe we'll get together and see it one day. It's a real good movie called The Breakup. Have you ever seen that?
With Jennifer Aniston?
Yeah, with Jennifer Aniston and what is his name?
The guy she was dating at one point, right? Was she dating him for real?
Was she dating him in real life? They may have started dating after that movie. They did in real life.
Okay.
Vince Vaughn. Yeah, that's right.
Right.
When they made that movie, they hooked up for real. But so have you ever seen it?
Yes.
Okay, so that's a real good movie that kind of explains what I'm trying to say here. Whereas she would and she was rightfully, her complaints were right. They weren't really complaints, but they were because she was doing so much, and he never understood it. So when she got to the point of trying to explain to him, and I'm doing this, and I'm tired of doing this, and I asked you to do this, and you can't, he still wasn't getting it. But instead, on the defense, he started complaining about her stuff too, which he had never done before. But he only started complaining because he was being defensive to hers. So that's what I think men will start doing. Only thing that men will complain about is if they ain't getting no nookie. Seriously. You know what I'm saying? They may complain. Well, if they care, they'll complain. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Hey, shorty, boom, boom, boom. If they don't care, they out doing something else. But other than that, and they may complain. Even in this day and age, I was gonna say they may complain because the food is burned or something like that. But if he marries you, he knew you couldn't cook from the jump anyway, so he ain't complain. He love you. So I think men complain in defense.
Okay.
Do you agree or disagree? You disagree?
I mean, men complain about whatever they're complaining about. But I don't think women see it as them nagging. But when we complain about whatever we're complaining about, especially if it has to do with y'all see it as nagging. So y'all just give us that term. I don't know. I know I probably complain about stuff. With that movie, The Breakup, Jennifer had a right to be complaining.
She did. That's what I'm saying. And then, when a woman is complaining, it don't mean she's wrong.
Right.
It's just the time. That's right. All,
But then, if you don't listen and a woman shares and expresses every way she could think of, then what she do? She shuts down. Okay. And then they shut down. Then you're on your way to over, because you better be happy while she's complaining, because that means she still cares.
Yeah,
because when
believe
she
me, I learned that the hard way.
And be like, whatever.
Yeah.
Then baby, you on your way out.
Yeah. That's something I learned in life.
You better be happy she's nagging ya.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But it can probably be frustrating because you think. Okay, that same movie, right? When everything broke. 'Cause what it is, I just recently watched it a few nights ago. That's why it's fresh in my head. And there was a part in that movie. Now, all the time they went through whatever. Then they started playing games. And they was, they decided they were going to break up. They were going to sell the place. But she invited him to the little concert, because she had already had tickets. He said, okay, sure, I'll come.
And then he didn't show up.
And he didn't show up.
That was painful.
Yeah, and so what happened was, remember, he went to her room and she was crying. And he was like, I didn't think, we hadn't been getting along. I didn't think you really want me there. It didn't matter whether I showed up or not. And she said it did. And then that's when, the funny thing is, she started saying, I've done all this. I've tried everything, and I just can't do it. And he said, why didn't you tell me? She said, I've been trying to tell you. And he said, but you never told me like this. Meaning her crying actually moved him. You see what I'm saying? And she had been telling him, but for some reason he didn't get it. Because she said, I've been telling you.
She's a strong woman. And with the strong women, we tell you in a certain way. And why does it have to be we got to break down all the way down like that for y'all to listen?
Maybe it's in the men DNA. I mean, that's a good question. You know,
but by that time, that was like the last straw for her. That was the worst of the worst. That was the pain. That was the end for her. When he stood her up at that concert, that was it for her. And it was something so minor to him.
To him, right.
But that was it.
But at the same time, and that was definitely it, but at the same time, he also said, I didn't think it mattered to you anymore. Because remember, she had been gone on other dates and all kinds of stuff. You know, they were kind of done. They were in separate rooms. Her brother done beat him up once, you know what I'm saying? And you know,
but you know what, but the woman, because that was such a realistic film.
Yeah, it was real good.
But she was not done yet. Her heart was not done yet.
But he didn't
because he was so busy being a jerk.
No, what she was doing, it was almost like the other movie, Two Can Play That Game. She was trying to get him, even when she was dating, she was trying to get him to pay attention. But it always backfired. He'd befriend her date. And next thing you know, she come in the room and they playing video games together. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, a guy can be a buffoon. I mean, you know, we can be. I will admit that. And that happened with me in real life. I didn't see it. And part of me still don't see it. You know what I'm saying? But apparently it was something deep. So, I don't know how we got from that to this. But basically, yeah, because this don't apply to that. Because she was giving him space. She was doing everything that I thought she could have. Yeah.
I kind of wanted them to get back together, but they didn't.
Yeah, they did.
That kind of sucked. No, they didn't.
The end left you
not knowing.
And that's the way it's supposed to end. She smiled, she walked away, he looked back, he winked at her, and she smiled, and it ended. Remember, they hadn't seen each other in a year.
Right.
And they run back into each other and said, let's get together sometime. Yeah, that'd be nice and all. It's good to see. You know, you lost weight and all this. He said, yeah, and all, boom, boom. I got serious. He said, I got serious about my business and all.
Yeah, about
time. Said, yeah, let's get together.
Y'all always get better after we gone.
I know, that's messed up. I know. That's true. Anyway.
Well, that's why we're doing this series, right? Okay, so the Mars side, you Martian people.
Okay.
Ask her specific questions about her day. Okay.
This is all right.
What do you think about that?
I totally agree. You have to. You may not even care. Let me talk to the guys. You may not even care how her day was. The only thing you care about is who tried to holler at her and how many inbox messages she got from dudes on Facebook. But other than that, you probably don't care, but you got to show her you care. I'll bring in another example. It's an old song by Billy Joel. You remember that song?
Which one?
Called Tell Her About It.
Tell her about it.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's one of those things of letting her know you care.
Okay.
Tell her about it. Tell her all those crazy things. Let her know how much you mean to her. Tell her just how much, whatever the words are. You know, I used to know, but anyway. But so this falls in line with that. Ask her about her day. How is this? How is that? You know, how is such and such? You know, you may not be listening, but show her that you care. Really, because women want to be heard, dudes. They want to be heard. We talked about this a little bit before when we talked about that episode of Everybody Hates Chris. You see?
And we do want to know that you care. And when you ask us questions, we feel like, because we're going to ask you,
right.
So how was your day? So any funny things happened today or whatever? You know, one thing that I got from John Maxwell years ago, long time ago. It was in the 90s, I think. I went to see him, and I forget, well, whatever. I won't get into what things he had produced at that point. But anyway, I went to see him, and I loved watching him and listening to him and learning from him. And one of the things that he shared was that he and his wife have a deal that during the day, they write down interesting things that happen to them during the day. They just jot it down. And they don't call each other throughout the day and say, hey, whatever. But they save a couple of interesting things that happen throughout the day, and they write it down so that they don't forget.
Okay.
And then they get home, they decompress, they, eat and everything. And then they share with each other a couple of interesting things that happen in their day that day. Okay. And I said, that's really key, because we spend most of our time away from our mates, those of us who have a job or who have a business or something like that. Most of the day you're not with your mate. And then when you come together, you've been through so much in a day that you don't even remember what the heck happened that was good. You might clearly remember what happened that was not good, but you might not remember the wonderful things that happened. So just like I was saying with my daughter, when she greeted me with all this drama, it was like, gee willikers, I just left drama with these clients. Now I got some more drama. So, sometimes it's better to greet someone with something wonderful, something nice, even if it was something simple, because miracles and wonderful things happen. They happen every day. Right. We just have to pay attention to them. Even if it's something that might be something that opened your eyes to something. It might not be like it's this big wonderful thing, but wasn't it nice that God showed you this, so that you could prepare yourself for that, so whatever it may be. I like that he said that he and his wife do that, and I remember that. I said, that's something I'm gonna do in my relationship. So I'm gonna make sure that we come home and share something wonderful that happened in our day with each other instead of all the drama.
And something else that just hit me really, on top of that, you just made me realize, you just think about, when you see an old couple that's been together for years, right? And of course, everything is, you got ups and downs, and especially in a relationship. It's not always going to be 100%. But something, you ever look at an old couple and say, what was it that kept them still together? Right. You see what I'm saying? Most likely it was little things like this. Asking questions about a day, or, and vice versa. Well, ask her. Well, we on the part about asking her. So sometimes I would say, look at these older couples, not ones that's been through and you don't know how the heck they still together. But I'm talking about ones that you can tell they still, the love that they have is totally different than a younger couple. The love they have is so used to it that it's the norm. They can sleep in different rooms, but they still got your back. It's almost like that picture. You ever seen that picture where the old couple mad at each other, but the guy is holding it. He mad at her, but he's holding the umbrella over her head. You see what I'm saying?
That one is a good one.
Yeah, and seeing that picture reminded me of when I was a kid, and reminded me of people like my godmother, my godfather, stuff like that. Was like, they got you. That's what you call having your back. But it's little things like that that build up to that kind of thing and make it last that long. Because I would think, everybody wants a relationship. I don't know if anybody want to get into a relationship and want it to fail eventually.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't think so.
So all these everything that we talked about are steps towards, and we're talking to ourselves too. In our own individual relationships of what did we make a mistake in the past, and the things that can help. Couples need these cards would be a good idea for couples to get.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And sit and have these conversations like this. And make YouTube videos like this. You know what I'm saying? Seriously.
I don't know if they want to do all that.
Well, that's what but what will it, what in doing that, what does it do in the relationship? It builds
a bond.
Yeah.
And doing these little things help to strengthen the friendship. And I think that's part of what's missing in so many relationships.
Yes, indeed.
The people aren't friends. And like when I call you, hey Kato, what you doing? What you up to today? What you been doing? Or if I haven't talked to you in a few weeks or a month or something, what you been doing? What you working on? That's what I do with a friend.
Right.
So why am I not gonna do that with my mate?
Right.
You know,
exactamundo.
You gonna ask your mate specific questions.
Yeah.
You
Dudes,
know?
be that girlfriend to her. Seriously. When she would get on the phone with her girlfriend and these are the things that she'll be talking about without her day. Be that person. Don't let her take your girlfriend. That
you
happens.
know?
I'm telling you. That
exactly.
happens.
And you don't want some other person come in and ask
Asking
her
those
questions about her day.
You definitely don't.
You be over there drinking your beer, being a couch potato, and somebody else asking her questions. But anyway.
With that in mind, don't forget to subscribe, tell your friends about this, and share this. Matter of fact, there's a little bell right here, somewhere along here. If you click on that bell, then you will get, notifications of when we do new episodes and stuff like this.
And comment. Tell us what you think about the Mars and the Venus side of this card.
Yeah.
We want to hear what you have to say.
All right.
All right.
Peace.
Peace.